Hey, sweet soul, isn't it exciting to imagine getting away for a little while, just for a weekend? A short escape from routine, from noise, from stress, somewhere new, or maybe somewhere familiar, but peaceful. Today, I want you to come with me, not in a car or on a train, but through words, through listening. So grab a warm drink, sit back, and let's plan something simple, beautiful, and full of little joys. Planning a trip is like painting a dream before you live it. You think about where you want to go, who you want to be with, what you want to see and taste and feel. Sometimes, the planning is almost as sweet as the trip itself. In this topic, I'll take you through the steps of dreaming, preparing, and experiencing a weekend trip. One that brings happiness, connection, and a little bit of magic. Episode 1. The Idea is Born. It all started on a quiet Thursday afternoon. I was sitting in the school library with my best friend, Layla. We had finished our homework early and were just staring out the window. The sky was blue, and the wind moved gently through the trees. A bird landed on the windowsill, looked at us for a second, and then flew away. Layla sighed. I wish we could go somewhere. Just escape. For a little while. I smiled and said, Why not? She raised her eyebrows. You mean it? I nodded. Let's plan a weekend trip. Right then, something inside us lit up. It was just an idea, simple, soft, but powerful. We opened my notebook and wrote in big letters, Weekend trip, let's go. The first question was, where? We started dreaming. The mountains? I said. Too cold, Layla replied. The lake? She asked. Maybe. I smiled. I loved the idea of water, quietness, and fresh air. We wrote a list of possible places. The lake near Grandma's village, a small town with cute cafes, a forest campsite, the beach, but a little too far. We finally agreed on the lake. It was only 2 hours away by bus. We had both been there before, but never just the two of us. Perfect, she said. Then came the next part. Who else should come? We decided to invite 2 more friends, Amir and Sarah. They were always up for an adventure. We messaged them. Want to join us for a weekend trip to the lake? Amir replied in 5 seconds. Yes! When? Sarah wrote, OMG, yes! I need this so bad! Now the group was complete. 4 friends, 1 plan, and a dream. That night, I couldn't sleep. My brain was full of little ideas. What to pack, what snacks to bring, what music to listen to on the bus. I imagined sitting by the water, talking, laughing, maybe watching the stars. It felt like something beautiful was about to begin. The next day, we met at lunch to plan more. We need food, Amir said. I can bring sandwiches, I offered. I'll bring fruit, Sarah added. Layla smiled. And I'll bring cookies. Homemade. Then we made a checklist. Clothes, speakers for music, picnic blanket, sunglasses, camera, flashlight, just in case. We even made a shared playlist on Spotify. Everyone added their favorite songs. We named it Lake Vibes. The first song was peaceful. The second was pure energy. The third made us all laugh. But the best part? The group chat. We called it Weekend Warriors. And it was full of silly messages, excitement, funny stickers and countdowns. Only 2 more days! Don't forget sunscreen. Who's bringing Uno? There was joy in every little message, every emoji, every plan. But not everything was smooth. Layla's mom was worried. "Who's supervising you?" she asked. Layla explained everything. We were staying in a family cabin near the lake. Amir's uncle lived nearby, and it was only one night. After some hesitation, her mom agreed. "Okay," she said. "Just promise to stay safe." Layla texted us, "Mission, Mom equals success." By Friday night, our backpacks were ready. We had snacks, jackets, hats, and a speaker. I printed the bus tickets. Layla packed a small notebook for writing poems. Sarah brought a tiny instant camera. Amir? He just packed chips. Lots of chips. Before going to bed, I looked at my packed bag and smiled. Sometimes, the journey begins long before you leave. It begins with a spark, a dream, and a few excited friends. Episode 2, The Journey and the Joy. It was early Saturday morning. The sky was still soft and pale, the streets nearly empty. I walked quickly to the bus stop, my backpack bouncing behind me. In one hand, I carried a bag of snacks. In the other, my phone, with our group chat open. "Ready?" "Already here." Sarah. 5 minutes away. Amir. "Bringing cookies." Layla. At 7:15 a.m., we were all standing together at the station. Sleepy eyes, big smiles. Layla wore a hoodie and sunglasses. Sarah had a scarf around her hair and carried her instant camera. Amir had 2 bags. One was full of chips, the other we never found out. I laughed and said, "You look like we're going camping for a week." He shrugged. "I like to be prepared." The bus arrived. It was one of those old buses with big windows and blue curtains. We climbed in and found seats near the back. Sarah sat by the window, I sat next to her, and the others behind us. The driver started the engine, and the bus rolled forward, humming like a sleepy giant. As the city faded behind us, I leaned my head against the window. The sun began to rise. Golden light touched the fields, rooftops, trees. I took a deep breath and thought, this is what freedom feels like. Layla turned on the speaker. Soft music filled the bus. Acoustic guitar, light drums, gentle voices. We shared headphones, snacks, and silence. It wasn't a loud trip. It was calm, comfortable. 2 hours passed like a dream. We arrived at a small village near the lake. It smelled like grass and firewood. Chickens walked freely in the dirt roads. Children rode bikes barefoot. It felt like time had slowed down. We walked to the cabin. It was small but perfect. A wooden house with 2 rooms, a small kitchen, and a porch. The lake was just down the hill, shining like silver under the sun. We dropped our bags and screamed, "Let's go!" Within minutes, we were by the water. Amir took off his shoes and stepped into the cold lake. "Whoa! It's freezing!" Sarah laughed and splashed him. I lay on the blanket and stared at the sky. Clouds moved slowly, like giant thoughts. We spent the day doing simple things. Skipping stones across the water, making sandwiches and eating them on the grass, taking silly pictures with the instant camera, talking about life, dreams, and fears. At one point, Layla pulled out her notebook and read us a poem she wrote. "A lake is just water. Until we arrive, then it becomes memory." We all clapped quietly. She blushed. In the afternoon, we hiked a small hill nearby. The view from the top took our breath away. You could see the entire lake, the reflection of the sky, and even small boats in the distance. This is peace, Sarah whispered. We sat there for a long time, saying nothing, just watching. Sometimes silence between friends is the most perfect conversation. As evening came, we returned to the cabin. We made simple food, eggs, bread, tea. Then we brought out a card game and played until our stomachs hurt from laughing. When the sun went down, we stepped outside. The sky had turned dark blue, and stars appeared like diamonds in velvet. We lay on the grass and looked up. Did you know, Amir said, that some stars we see don't even exist anymore? They died long ago, but their light is still traveling to us. That thought made us quiet again. And somehow, closer. Before going to sleep, I wrote one sentence in my journal. This day was enough. And it truly was. Episode 3, Saying Goodbye, Taking Memories. The next morning, I woke up to the sound of birds. Sunlight slipped through the curtain and danced on the wooden walls of the cabin. Everything was quiet, peaceful. For a moment, I forgot where I was. Then I saw the lake through the window, and I smiled. I sat up, stretched, and looked around. Sarah was still asleep, hugging a pillow like it was a teddy bear. Layla was already outside, sitting on the porch with her notebook. Amir? He was in the kitchen, making tea and humming a song. I stepped outside barefoot. The wooden floor was cool under my feet. Morning, Layla said without looking up. She was writing again. I sat next to her. You writing about yesterday? She nodded. I don't want to forget a single second. After breakfast, we decided to go down to the lake one last time. We didn't swim. We didn't talk much. We just sat by the water. I took out my sketchbook and drew a quick picture. The lake, the hill, and the four of us. Tiny dots, sitting close together. This place changed me, Sarah said. I asked, how? She smiled. I feel like I remembered how to breathe. We each wrote one small sentence in Layla's notebook. Amir. Nature is better than Wi-Fi. Sarah. Silence can be louder than noise. Layla. I will return here with new questions. Me. Some weekends feel bigger than years. Around noon, we packed our things. No one wanted to leave, but we all knew we had to. The cabin looked a little sad, like it knew it was saying goodbye too. Before we left, we stood together and took one last photo. Sarah held her camera and said, Okay, smile, but not too much. This isn't the end. Click. A moment frozen forever. On the bus ride home, we didn't talk much. Everyone was tired, happy tired, the kind of tired that only comes after something real. I looked out the window and watched the lake disappear behind trees and hills, but in my heart, it stayed. When I got home, my parents asked, How was it? I said, perfect. Then I went to my room, opened my sketchbook, and wrote, We left the lake, but it didn't leave us. Later that night, I opened our group chat. A new message from Amir. Next trip? Where to? And I knew. We hadn't ended anything. We had just begun. Hey, sweet soul. Thank you for traveling with me. Not on a real road, but on a road of words and feelings. Maybe we didn't pack real bags. Maybe there was no actual lake. But you felt it, didn't you? The bus, the trees, the stars, the laughter, the goodbye. That's the magic of stories. They remind us that joy isn't only in big vacations. Sometimes it's in a short weekend with simple food, good company, and fresh air. Sometimes it's in the silence between songs. Sometimes it's in the sound of your own breath when you finally feel free. If you ever feel stuck, tired, or lost in daily life, remember this. You don't need to go far to find peace. You just need a little space, a little dream, and a few people who make your heart lighter. So next time your heart whispers, "Let's go somewhere," listen to it, plan something small, and let joy find you, even if only for 2 days. See you soon in the next story. Until then, pack your dreams, carry your calm, and never stop exploring, even if it's only in your imagination. With love and light, your English listening friend.